You see that? So there's the front and then there's the back. So notice how I'm able to pretty much have a clip be in between my locks. So what's going on, everyone? It is your girl Justine. I'm coming at you all with a new video. Actually, I'm coming at you all with a couple of videos. So if you notice this yellow shirt in the next few videos, that's because I'm recording them all today. Today's a wash day for me. So it's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about with you guys and show you guys. So stay tuned. So I know you guys are probably looking at the title and you're like, what is she talking about? Her locks look perfect. Like, they don't look like they're two different textures. What is she talking about? Well, yes, some of my locks are two different textures. So here's a little back history. So when I started my locks using the 2-strand twist method. I was a loose natural, and then I decided that I wanted to lock my hair, and I used a 2-strand twist method. The reason why I chose a 2-strand twist method is just because as a loose natural, I was always twisting my hair, and it just was a style that was near and dear to me. And then, you know, I obviously did my research. I didn't really want to do braids. I didn't want to do the coils. So 2-strand twist it was for me. So that is the method that I used to start my locks. Now, early on in my journey, I was a little nervous because I didn't know if my hair would eventually lose the 2-strand twist pattern. You know, everybody's journey is different, and I had seen a couple of people who had started their locks with 2-strand twist and eventually they lost the pattern, but I just didn't know if it would be the same for me or not. And obviously as I went through, you know, as I've been going through my journey, I noticed that, okay, I lost the pattern. My hair has eventually taken on the lock form, whatever, so I'm good. So some of my locks, yes, from afar you might look at me and you're like, oh yeah, her locks look perfectly fine. We can only see we see only one like specific texture, but when I am doing a close-up look is when I mostly notice that some of them do have two textures. So for the most part, I'm gonna just pull a lock to show you. So actually, let me just grab this one in the front. So I have all my new growth, the hair that's not necessarily fully locked, you know, it's new growth. Some of it is even out of the lock. And then all hair is lock, 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 lock. And then even to the very tip, it's locked. Now that's this particular lock. And let me just double check. Yes, that's this particular lock. But some of the locks, when I get to the bottom, is when I noticed that they still have a little bit of that 2-strand twist pattern, okay? So what I did was I went through, and you'll notice that I have some of my clips in my hair. Those are some of the locks that I noticed the 2-strand twist pattern at the bottom. So I clipped them all so that I could show you all for the purpose of this video. All right, so I have a lock here. So same situation, loose at the root, and then it's fully locked, and then towards the bottom is where I noticed the 2-strand twist method. So it's hard for me to have this focus enough for you guys to see, but that's pretty much what it looks like at the bottom. All right, now you might be wondering, how can I tell that it's still the 2-strand twist method? So I could personally see it, but then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unravel it a little bit, and you can see right there. You see that hole? I'm gonna try to hold it against a piece of paper. Maybe you guys will be able to see it a lot easier, but all right. So there's a hole where you can see through the lock. I'm gonna try to, come on. Right there, you see that hole? I'm just trying to make sure I get it right. So right there where that hole is, that is the two pieces that came together to make the lock. So pretty much the bottom right there is where it still has that 2-strand twist pattern. All right, so I pulled another lock that's kind of like in the same area as the one I just showed you. So same situation, lock, lock, and then at the bottom is where I can see that 2-strand twist pattern. So again, all I gotta do is just twist it a little bit, and I could see where the two pieces of hair met to make the lock. So what I'm going to do so that you all can see is I'm going to take this clip and I'm going to take the pointy part at the end and I'm going to stick it in the middle of the lock so you can see. And then I'm going to hold it up against this paper just so that it's a little bit more clear. All right, so here's the clip. Here's the bottom of my lock. I'm putting it in the hole. So there you go. You can see that. And then I'm going to hold it up against this piece of paper. You see that? So there's the front and then there's the back. So notice how I'm able to pretty much have a clip be in between my lock. All right, so I'm going to do that again. So here's the lock. Here's the clip, and I'm able to stick it in there. And then here it is against the paper just so you can see it a lot easier. But look at that. So there's the front and then there's the back. Front, back. And then look how easily it just goes through it like that. You can see that right there. So yeah, I hope that explains what I was trying, that shows what I was trying to explain. Here's the hole. I'm gonna hold it up against the paper. There it is. And then all I'm going to do just to kind of put it back is just twist it like that. So pretty much, not necessarily all of my locks, but some of them. You notice that I have like I said before, like the random clips. I kind of was just going through looking for those types of locks that have that. But yeah, like this is another one. So this one's more, this is like right here at the top of my head. This lock, and it's the same thing. Like you'll notice, I don't know if you all can see, it's hard to see, it's really hard to see what I'm trying to explain, but that's why I use the clip and I'm holding it up against the paper just to kind of show you all, give you a better angle. But this is another one. So there's the hole. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, I think it's interesting, you know, which is why I wanted to share that with you all. For anyone out there that is thinking to start their locks using the 2-strand twist method, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know why that is. I mean, I guess, you know, it just really depends on your hair type. I honestly, I don't even know, because for me, it's not even like, I can't even say it's only specifically in the front or it's only specifically in the top of my head or the back of my head, because it's literally like in random spots. Like I have another one back here, like all the way in the back, another one in the back there, another one right here. Again, like I showed you the one up here, a few in the front. So I mean, it's not, again, it's not all my locks, it's just a couple of them. Or you know, for what I could tell as I was looking through them or whatever. But yeah, I think it's interesting. And I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I don't really think there's anything that I need to do. I mean, if it was more like I noticed a split like somewhere up here in my lock, then I would be concerned, because obviously like that's literally, you know, the middle of my lock. But it's necessary, it's just the end. And who knows, a trim, that's something that a trim can fix. Yeah, besides a trim, I don't really know what else one would do to fix it. I mean, I could probably use a crochet needle to kind of, you know, like a crochet hook to kind of like go through it. But I mean, it's so, the bottom, the points of the bottom of my locks, they're so like skinny and thin, like it just doesn't really make sense for me to do anything. It's not affecting the growth of my hair. It's not causing my lock to split or break or anything like that. So it's not really an issue, but more just something to notice and to be aware of. Again, like I said, if I wanted to correct it, I think my best bet would just be to get a trim. But yeah. So anyhow, thank you all for watching this video. Please hit that subscribe button if you are not a subscriber. Check me out on Instagram. I post pictures on there. I'm active on there, so please check me out there. Shoot me an email if you have any questions or anything like that. My information is listed in the description box. Please stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you guys then. Bye.